So Pat, tell us a bit about yourself.
So Patrick Filippi, postdoctoral researcher here at Sydney University. So I'm funded by CRDC. I also do a little bit of work in grains, but mainly cotton and a little bit in sugarcane. So I did a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a focus on agronomy, in pastures actually specifically, and then I wanted to get into the industry, but it was hard to find a job basically, so I got offered to do a PhD. So I did a PhD in soil science, specifically soil mapping for the cotton industry, and then yeah, sort of combined the two and working in precision ag now, so I focus on agronomy and soil science together.
So what was your background before you did the Bachelor of Science in Ag?
I grew up in Western Sydney near Cabramatta, so we didn't live on a farm. We had a pretty large block, 2,000 square metres, and my dad's family's Italian, so we lived behind my nonna, who was just loved the garden. She was always in the garden, and my dad was the same, so we just grew up, and yeah, basically that's how I got interested in agriculture. Always loved it as a kid. So basically the stuff I'm working on now is, well, it's in the field of precision ag. So traditional precision ag is really focused on learning about as much as we can about one particular paddock. So getting all the yield data over many years and DVI data over many years, and then getting some soil information, and then learning about how we can optimize management from that data. But in the age of digital agriculture, the age of big data, we now have access to all this information, and we have the high-performing computing available to do it. So what we're trying to do now is pull together data from many fields and farms, because there are similarities in soil type, similarities in management and things like that. So specifically what we're working on is trying to model the yield potential, and then linking that back with the observed yield data to get a yield gap. And we're not doing that at a field scale, we're trying to do it at a fine resolution, well, 10 to 30 metres. So what we can end up is with a yield gap map, so a farmer can see whether they are actually hitting their yield potential in a particular part of the field, and then some parts of the field he might not be hitting the yield potential.